Hi, I wanted to quickly talk about scope-based permissions for window.ipfs. In IPFS Companion, a property is exposed on every window object of every web page you visit called IPFS. And if a website decides to call functions on IPFS, then it will ask you if that's okay, if they are not on the whitelist. So I have a website here which is running on my local gateway. And if I refresh it, this page, it will try to call IPFS files.add, and IPFS Companion will ask me if that's okay. If I click allow to allow that to happen, then that happens fine, and I've allowed this site to add things to my local IPFS node. I can then check in my permissions and see that happened, and I can obviously toggle those permissions on and off. Now, the issue comes when we are running multiple websites or web applications on the same gateway. So over here in this tab, I've got a different app running on the same gateway, and it also wants to add things into my local IPFS. So how do I solve the problem that the permissions I've applied here don't also apply over here in this app? If we use the same origin policy, then that wouldn't work because these are both running on exactly the same origin. So instead, what we've done is we've used a service worker inspired kind of model for scope. So if I refresh this page here, it should also ask me if it can add files to my local IPFS node, which it does. And so I can apply this decision to all of the permissions. So basically allow this particular scope to add files, to read files, to do all sorts of things with my IPFS. Anything that it wants to do, it can do. Then I can just allow that. And it works. So that's good. And I expect that paths below this particular path also have the ability to do things. So this subpath wants to get IPFS ID, and it is automatically allowed to do it because I have given it given the permission to this particular scope. And so when I talk about scopes, I'm basically talking about the origin plus the path name. And so what we've done here is we've given all permissions to this particular scope, which is at /app. And so that allows subpaths to also access IPFS, but it means that if I try and do a similar thing for a path above /app, it will ask me again. And I can allow or deny it here at this level. So if I deny it here, then I won't be able to access it again if I refresh the page. This has been denied. But app should still be able to do what it does. Hooray!